5th of October 1945. My dear Father White, in the meantime I have finished reading the pamphlets you kindly have sent me. My first reaction was, what a pity that you live in England and that I don't have you at my elbow when I'm blundering in the wide field of theological knowledge. Excuse the irreverential pun. You are to me a white raven, inasmuch as you are the only theologian I know who has really understood something of what the problem of psychology in our present world means. You have seen its enormous implications. I cannot tell you how glad I am that I know a man, a theologian, who is conscientious enough to weigh my opinions on the basis of a careful study of my writings. It is a gigantic task indeed, to create a new approach to an old truth. More than once I have put the question to my theological friends, what about the new wine in old skins? The old way of interpreting has itself to be interpreted, this time with the help of science. I do not combat the Christian truth. I'm only arguing with the modern mind. We have known for long and sufficiently well how things ought to be, but we don't know how to bring them about. This is my main concern.
23rd of October, 1945. My dear Professor Jung, it is quite impossible for me to express my gratitude to you for your letter, or to tell you how much it has meant to me. For some time past I have found myself ploughing a rather lonely furrow, painfully aware of the inadequacy of my experience on the psychological side, and for my need for expert and understanding guidance, at least to the extent of some reassurance that I was not positively on the wrong lines from the psychological standpoint. How very much do I also wish that I could indeed be at your elbow, though very much aware that the benefit would be far greater on my side. I am afraid, however, that this is impossible, and that I must try to be useful where I actually am. But perhaps I may have the boldness to say that nothing on earth could please or profit me more than to be able to visit you, if only for 2 or 3 days. 5th of April, 1952. My dear C.G., thank you a million for Hiob. Though I have countless other things to do, I can hardly put it down. It is the most exciting and moving book I have read in years, and somehow it arouses tremendous bonds of sympathy between us, and lights up all sorts of dark places both in the scriptures and in my own psyche. Of course, this is not a considered judgment on all it says. The first impact is too strong for me to dare any such thing.
30th of April 1960. My dear Victor, I have heard of your illness, and I should have liked to come to England to see you, but I have to be careful with my own health, and I must avoid all exertions. As I'm completing my 85th year, I'm really old, and my forces are definitely limited. I want to assure you of my loyal friendship. I shall not forget all the useful things I have learned through our many talks and through your forbearance with me. I was often sorry to be a Petra Scandali. It is my fate, however, not my choice, and I had to fulfill this unbecoming role. Things had to be moved. In the great crisis of our time, new wine needs new skins.
8th of May, 1960. My very dear C.G., of course, I understand that it is impractical for us to meet at present. Perhaps we will in another world or dimension, where we know even as we are known. I am more convinced than ever of the importance of your pioneer work for humanity, even for those who cannot agree with every word you say, but have to take part in the dialectic discussion with you. I do not know if it is true that you have been a petrus scandali to me, as you say you have, but to the extent that you may have been, I think that I can honestly say that I am grateful for it.